Lại ao thao bởi vẫn Sang nhiệt ninh đôi vào đây.
Я тебя не знаю сегодня.
Pets have always played a fascinating role in human history. From this boy who has a 16-foot-long python as his buddy, to a man who decided regular pets were not enough and chose a 6-foot buffalo as his companion.
This is Bailey Jr. He's my second buffalo that I've trained.
This civilization has had some truly surprising companions. While many of these animals were loyal and useful, some were bizarre. So, without further delay, let's dive into the world of unusual domesticated animals that will amaze you.
He's awesome. He loves babies. This is his brother here.
1. The Cambodian boy who sleeps with a python.
Lại ao thao bởi vẫn Sang nhiệt ninh.
Who would have thought a giant Burmese python could make a cuddly companion? Well, for Jorn Samboth from Cambodia, this scaly pal isn't just a pet, it's practically a brother. The story starts back in 1999, when Jorn was a mere 3 months old.
Before Sambup was born, his mother, Kinkanara, dreamt a snake would come to protect them.
Named Chamroon, which translates to progress in Khmer, this snake was about to become an integral part of the family. As Jorn grew up, learning to crawl and then walk, Chamroon was right there alongside him, although admittedly more on the slithering side of locomotion. Their bond is something out of a storybook, especially considering Chamroon now tips the scales at a whopping 220 pounds and stretches over 16 feet long. You might think having a python as a pet would be a bit nerve-wracking, but according to Jorn's family, this giant snake is as gentle as they come. Now, how does one feed a 220-pound python, you ask? It's all about the chicken, 22 pounds of it per week, to be exact. Sure, that's a hefty grocery bill, but Jorn's family sees Chamroon as family, and in this family, no one gets left behind at dinner time. The tale of Jorn and Chamroon didn't just stay within the walls of their home. It caught the eye of neighbors and eventually media outlets, turning them into local celebrities. People from far and wide have been drawn to this extraordinary friendship, marveling at the gentle nature of such a formidable reptile with its human companion. Jorn's mother once dreamed about a snake that would protect their family, and when Chamroon showed up, they took it as a sign. Despite the potential dangers posed by such a large and powerful animal, this python has shown nothing but affection for his human family. In a world where friendships are often formed between the likeliest of pairs, Jorn and Chamroon stand out as a testament to the unusual bonds that life can forge. It's a reminder that sometimes the best friendships come in the most unexpected forms, scale and all. 2. Travis the chimp. Born on October 21st, 1995, at a Missouri facility, Travis the chimp was no ordinary addition to the Harold household. Just 3 days old when Sandra and Jerome Harold brought him home to Stamford, Connecticut. Travis was practically swaddled in human culture from the get-go. Picture this, a chimp who could dress himself and even click away on a computer. He wasn't just a pet, he was pretty much a local star, even nabbing some TV commercial gigs. But here's where the sitcom-like charm ends and the real-world implications kick in. On February 16, 2009, a seemingly regular day turned catastrophic. At 14 years old and tipping the scales at 200 pounds, Travis attacked Charla Nash, a friend so close to Sandra Harold, you'd think they were family. The scene was horrific. Nash was left with life-altering injuries that would pull her into an ordeal of numerous reconstructive surgeries. As for Travis, his fate was sealed by a police officer's bullet that same day. This chilling episode flung open a Pandora's box of debates over the wisdom of keeping wild animals as domestic buddies. The incident didn't just lead to whispers across Stamford. It sparked a nationwide rethink of laws concerning the ownership of exotic creatures. Through immense pain and resilience, Charla Nash became more than a survivor. After undergoing a pioneering face transplant attempt and making public appearances, she settled a lawsuit with the Harold estate for a cool $4 million. You see, while the heartbreak was palpable, it also peeled back layers on the often overlooked dangers and ethical dilemmas lurking in our backyards. 3. Messi the Puma. Messi the Puma is not your average house cat, and certainly not what you'd expect from the name unless you're thinking of the soccer legend, which, frankly, this story might rival in drama.
Я тебя не знаю сегодня.
Born in a zoo in Penza, Russia, little Messi wasn't given the best start. Health issues like malnourishment and muscle weakness hit him early, thanks to less than stellar living conditions. The zookeepers were at a crossroads. With the pumas not being native to Russia and no suitable sanctuary available, they considered euthanasia for poor Messi. Enter Alexander and Maria Dmitriev, the couple who would turn things around. Touched by Messi's plight, they did something pretty out of the box. They decided to adopt him. Negotiating with the zoo, they managed to bring Messi into their home.
Чё?
Kicking off an unbelievable transformation. The Dmitrievs went all out, remodeling their abode to suit a puma's life, complete with a special play area to cater to Messi's needs and address his health woes. Now, Messi is living the dream as a quasi-domestic pet in the Dmitriev household. He trots around on regular walks, munches on a diet crafted just for him, and even hits up dog training classes. Yes, you heard that right, dog training classes. And guess what? He's acing it, showing zero signs of aggression, and basically being the family's big, furry sweetheart. But, of course, every story has its critics. Some animal rights activists are raising eyebrows, worried that keeping a wild animal like Messi at home might spark a trend in the exotic pet trade. They argue that no matter how cushy the couch is, a wild animal's needs are vast and complex. Regardless of the debates, one thing's for sure: Messi's story is one for the books, nor at least a viral internet post. From a shaky start to a pampered pet life, it's safe to say his journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. And for the Dmitrievs, well, they've got a puma for a pet. How's that for a conversation starter at parties? 4. Kojek, the crocodile. The Irwan family in Bogor, West Java, Indonesia, has redefined the meaning of household companion with Kojek, a 200-kilogram crocodile who's been their not-so-little buddy for over 2 decades.
Saya hidup dengan buaya sudah 20 tahun lebih, mungkin 21 tahun.
Yep, a massive crocodile chilling in someone's backyard like it's no big deal. Now, Kojek's story starts like a real tearjerker. Imagine this little 30-centimeter baby croc being tossed around by local kids like a toy. Luckily, he caught the eye of Irwan, who saw past the scales and teeth of the frightened creature underneath. Mistaken for a lizard by a fisherman's son and his pals, Kojek was more of a plaything than a predator. Irwan, however, recognized the little guy for what he truly was and decided to step in, buying the croc off the kids to give him a second shot at life. Over the years, Kojek grew from that tiny, scared crocodile into a whopping 2-meter-long, gentle giant under Irwan's care. Despite his daunting appearance and the obvious dangers of keeping a crocodile as a pet, Kojek has been nothing short of a gentle soul, never once harming any human family members. The family hasn't taken their responsibilities lightly, though. They've kept up with fresh fish for meals, regular baths, and yes, even toothbrushing sessions for Kojek to keep those chompers clean and healthy. Locals and visitors couldn't help but notice the fat crocodile, a nickname lovingly given for his size and the waddle around his neck. Kojek quickly became something of a local and then international celebrity. People traveled just to catch a glimpse of this crocodile living in harmony with his human family. But here's where the plot thickens. Things got a bit tense when the authorities caught wind of Kojek's unusual living situation. Protected under Indonesian law, crocodiles like Kojek aren't your typical domestic pets. The Natural Resources Conservation Agency had to step in, and sadly, after 21 years of cohabitation, Kojek had to be removed from his home. The separation was heart-wrenching, not just for the family, but for Kojek too. 5. Jessica the hippo.
That's Jessica over there.
Oh, you are joking.
In 2000, Tony and Shirley Joubert stumbled upon a tiny, needy hippo near the Blyde River in South Africa. The region was going through some tough times due to heavy rains affecting both Mozambique and South Africa. And this little hippo was caught right in the middle of it.
You come down, you touch her nose, and just place it in there.
I'll tell you what.
Now, hippos are not exactly your typical household pet, but the Jouberts, armed with their game-ranging smarts, couldn't just leave her be. They named her Jessica and got straight to work on getting her healthy, whipping up a special formula because the usual cow's milk just wasn't going to cut it for a growing hippo. Fast forward to today, and Jessica is no ordinary hippo. At 23 years old, she's living her best life near Hoedspruit, South Africa, and has become something of a local and international celebrity. You see, Jessica isn't just any hippo. She has this incredible knack for mingling with humans. Raised almost like a member of the Joubert family, she enjoys a free-range lifestyle but doesn't miss a chance to drop by for visits. What's a day in Jessica's life like, you ask? Well, it includes chugging about 20 liters of rooibos tea. She also munches on sweet potatoes, carrots, apples, and bread. Talk about a diverse palate. Jessica's unique upbringing showcases an extraordinary case of human-animal coexistence that's not only rare but truly heartwarming. She's even made her way into documentaries and various media outlets, capturing the hearts of many across the globe. For those intrigued by this gentle giant, the Jouberts have set up accommodations where visitors can meet Jessica in person and witness this unique bond themselves. It's a testament to the unexpected friendships that can form under the most unusual circumstances, and how they can defy what we typically expect from wild animal interactions. Just goes to show that the animal kingdom never ceases to amaze. 6. A domesticated bear cuddles its owner. Back in 1993, Svetlana and Yuri Pantelienko came upon a little bear cub, Stepan, who was not only abandoned, but was in a pretty rough shape, found alone in a forest. Only 3 months old and already facing such hardships, Stepan was just a fluffy bundle of distress. The Pantelinkos, moved by his plight, decided to nurse the little guy back to health. Little did they know, this act of kindness would turn their home in Moscow into a bear sanctuary. Fast forward a few decades, and Stepan is no ordinary bear. Weighing in at a whopping 350 kilograms and standing tall at about 2.25 meters, he's what you might call a gentle giant. Despite the fact that he could be seen as intimidating by his size alone, Stepan is nothing but a sweetheart. He's become quite the sociable bear, mingling closely with his human family, participating in what you'd call typical family activities, watching TV, and even helping around the house by watering plants. Now, let's talk about diet, because feeding a bear isn't quite like feeding your dog. Stepan chows down on a hefty 25 kilograms of fish, vegetables, and eggs each day. Yet, despite his imposing diet and stature, he's never once shown aggression towards his humans. The backstory of how Stepan ended up with the Panteleenkos is equally heartwarming. Originally, he was one of several cubs in a small circus that hit hard times and couldn't care for its animals anymore. Stefan was the most forlorn of the bunch, which obviously tugged at the couple's heartstrings. Besides being a beloved family member, Stepan has carved out a bit of a career for himself in the entertainment industry, acting and modeling in various films and photo shoots. He's been shattering the ferocious bear stereotype one gig at a time, showcasing the gentler side of one of nature's giants. Honestly, you can't help but admire the Pantelenkos for their extraordinary commitment, turning what could have been a sad tale into a story of compassion and unconventional family life. Who said all families need to look the same anyway? 7. Bailey Jr., a 1,600-pound buffalo. You might think adopting a dog or cat is a big commitment, but imagine bringing a 1,600-pound buffalo into your home. That's exactly what Jim and Linda Sautner did up in Alberta, Canada. After the passing of their beloved buffalo Bailey Sr., who was also raised from a calf, they decided they couldn't just stop there. Enter Bailey Jr., another gentle giant who stepped into the hoofprints of his predecessor and quickly made himself at home with the Sautners. Bailey Jr. isn't your average pet. At 6 feet tall and 8 feet long, he's more like a furry car than a lapdog. But that didn't stop the Sautners from making him feel like part of the family. They went all out, modifying a 1979 Pontiac Parisienne into a convertible, just so he could tag along on family outings. And we're not talking about a quick jaunt to the local park. Bailey Jr.'s travels with his family included trips to the bar and even the bank. Can you imagine pulling up to the ATM and seeing a buffalo in the next car? This buffalo's unique lifestyle made him quite the celebrity in his community. Bailey Jr. didn't just stick to routine car rides. He participated in local events, making waves wherever he hoofed it. His presence at these gatherings wasn't just a novelty, but a highlight, turning heads and dropping jaws as people marveled at Jim and Linda's extraordinary family member. Despite his size and the unusual sight of a buffalo doing everyday human activities, Bailey Jr. displayed a surprisingly gentle nature. He interacted closely with the Sautners, showing that even the biggest hearts can come in the most unexpected forms. As of the latest updates in the early 2000s, Bailey Jr. was living a pretty standard life for a domesticated buffalo, if there is such a thing. He enjoyed participating in daily activities with his family and had nestled himself firmly into the hearts of the Sautner household. While recent media coverage on Bailey Jr. has been scarce post-early 2000s, one thing's clear: he's far from just another pet. He's a full-fledged family member with a flair for the dramatic entrance and the ability to make any outing an adventure. Just another day in the life of the Sautners and their buffalo, proving that family isn't always defined by size or species, but by the love shared within it. 8. Cynthia Lee Gamble. Cynthia Lee Gamble, a seasoned wildlife documentary maker and trainer, found her life's passion in the majestic yet formidable world of exotic animals. This 52-year-old dynamo from Danforth Township, Minnesota, had her hands full, managing everything from wolves to wolverines, coyotes, and foxes. But it was the Bengal tigers at her Center for Endangered Cats that really defined her career. Founded in 1992, the USDA licensed facility was not just any backyard pet project. Cynthia's tigers were the real celebrities, gracing the pages of books, the glossy spreads of magazines, and even the silver screen. But you know what they say about playing with fire, or, in this case, big cats. On a fateful day in April 2006, a routine visit to her property took a grim turn. A man, there to perform a controlled burn, stumbled upon a horrifying scene. Inside a cage, Cynthia's lifeless body lay next to one of her 500-pound Bengal tigers. The details are as chilling as they sound. She was found in a section connected to the main enclosure by a mysteriously left open gate. And that tiger? Well, it was anything but calm. Authorities had to make the tough call to euthanize the agitated tiger to safely retrieve Cynthia's body, which was sent off to the Ramsey County Medical Examiner for an autopsy. At the time of the incident, Cynthia had 2 other Bengal tigers. These big cats were temporarily looked after by friends, a small comfort in a sea of unanswered questions. This tragic event threw a spotlight on the dangers of keeping such wild animals as more than just pets. It often takes a dramatic incident like this to really shake the table on exotic animal ownership, sparking debates and possibly tighter rules to keep everyone, animals included, a bit safer. Now, it's easy to get caught up in the allure of the wild, but Cynthia's story is a stark reminder of the respect and caution these beautiful creatures demand. And while her legacy is tinted by tragedy, it also serves as a crucial lesson in the delicate balance of nature and nurture. 9. The Hyena Men. Have you ever heard of the Hyena Men of Nigeria? Yeah, that's a real thing, not a title of some blockbuster movie. The spotlight shone on these unique individuals, thanks to Peter Hugo's photography series, The Hyena and Other Men. This whole adventure kicked off when Hugo stumbled upon a mind-boggling image in his inbox, which naturally, he just couldn't ignore. Next thing you know, he's in Nigeria, capturing the bizarre yet captivating world of men who cozy up to hyenas. Now, these hyena men aren't just a random group of animal enthusiasts. Located mainly in northern Nigeria, they are part of a deep-rooted tradition where taming wild creatures like hyenas, baboons, and even rock pythons is all in a day's work. This isn't your average pet project. It's serious business. The skills required for managing these potentially dangerous animals have been honed over generations and handed down like precious family heirlooms. But why, you might ask, would anyone want to keep a hyena? Well, it's not just for kicks. These animals star in street performances that are a blend of cultural heritage and pure spectacle, drawing crowds from far and wide. It's performance art with a wild twist, tapping into the rich tapestry of local folklore and adding a bit of edge to street entertainment scenes. Of course, this practice isn't all applause and admiration. Keeping hyenas comes with its fair share of controversies, especially from the ethical and conservation angles. There are some hefty concerns about the well-being of these wild animals, not to mention the sustainability of yanking them out of their natural habitats for a life on the streets. Critics are quick to point out that such shows might skew public perception of wildlife, potentially throwing a wrench in the works of conservation efforts. Despite the pushback, the hyena men see their wild companions as more than just beasts of burden. Who knew a simple photograph could unravel such a profound narrative? 10. Saber, a Bengal tiger. Ever feel like ditching your desk job for something a little wilder? Janice Haley did just that when she waved goodbye to her administrative assistant gig to embark on an extraordinary adventure with some rather large furry friends. Over 2 decades ago, an ad for a tiger training course caught her eye and inspired her to turn her Orlando, Florida backyard into a haven for Bengal tigers. Haley's journey into the world of big cats started in 2002 when she welcomed Jonda, a majestic orange Bengal tiger. After her first tiger, Chuffer, passed away, she didn't skip a beat before bringing home Saber, a stunning white Bengal male. Imagine this little cub, just 2 weeks old at the time, in 2007, toddling into Haley's life and heart. Now, these aren't your average kitties. Janda tips the scales at about 400 pounds, while Saber, the bigger of the two, weighs in at a hefty 600 pounds. They live in a special enclosure at Haley's residence, where they're not just surviving, but thriving under her tender care. Haley hand feeds them 3 times a day and has cultivated a bond so deep that she fondly calls herself their mommy. And talk about attachment. Saber shows a childlike dependency that's both heartwarming and a tad humorous. He's not quite ready to drift off to dreamland without suckling on Haley's finger, a bedtime ritual that underscores their unique relationship. Haley is fully aware of the ideal world where these splendid creatures would roam freely. However, she's also keenly conscious of the harsh realities they might face in the wild, not to mention the limited chances of survival without human intervention. In her eyes, the love and security she offers in their current setup are second to none, especially considering the alternatives. While some might scratch their heads at the idea of tigers as house pets, Haley's story is a heartfelt commitment to providing a sanctuary where these magnificent beasts can live out their lives with dignity. She's not just a former admin turned tiger mom. She's a pioneer in her own right, redefining what it means to have a pet, and proving that sometimes the wildest dreams are the ones worth chasing. 11. Kevin Richardson, the Lion Whisperer. Who needs a college degree in animal behavior when you've got an innate whispering talent with lions? Enter Kevin Richardson, often hailed as the Lion Whisperer. Now, this Johannesburg native didn't take the typical scholarly path to get up close and personal with these majestic creatures. Nope, it was his sheer passion and unique connection with animals that set his course. The real game changer came in 1998 when Kevin started working with 2 lion cubs, Tao and Napoleon, at a local lion park. Talk about a career-defining moment. This experience wasn't just a job. It was the beginning of a profound journey that led him to develop groundbreaking methods of interaction based on mutual trust and respect. No dominance necessary. Fast forward to today. Kevin is the proud operator of a renowned wildlife sanctuary established in 2009. What's unique about this place is its dedication to rehabilitation, education, and conservation. And let me tell you, Kevin's approach to wildlife conservation is anything but conventional. He's out there on the front lines, campaigning against the heart-wrenching practice of canned hunting and pushing for the preservation of natural habitats. But Kevin's influence doesn't stop at the sanctuary's gates. He's also a powerful voice in global wildlife conservation, actively participating in campaigns that shine a light on these critical issues. Plus, if you've ever caught one of his documentaries or seen him speak, you know he's not just talking the talk, he's walking the walk with every lion at his side. Kevin Richardson's impact on wildlife conservation is monumental, offering a fresh perspective on the bonds humans can have with nature's most formidable predators. Now, if that's not a legacy to roar about, I don't know what is. 12th. Hulk, the giant pit bull. Hulk, the giant pit bull, is more than just a hefty hound. Tipping the scales at a whopping 170 pounds, this colossal pooch clocks in at nearly 3 times the size of an average pit bull. Born on September 7, 2013, as part of the Dark Dynasty K9's training program in New Hampshire, Hulk isn't just any dog. He's a superstar in both the family home and on social media. Raised to play dual roles as both a snuggly family pet and a vigilant protection dog, Hulk's got a resume that could put most of us to shame. But what really turns heads, aside from his massive frame, is his unexpectedly gentle demeanor. This gentle giant vibe has catapulted him to fame, making him a living legend among pit bulls. His owner, Marlon Grennan, credits Hulk's astonishing size to a unique genetic mix, which is all natural. No special diets or growth supplements here, just good old high-protein chow. And boy, does he live up to his name. Despite looking like he could bench press a car, Hulk is a total softie, especially around the Grennan's kids. He's often seen lounging peacefully with the children, serving up a daily dose of awes and challenging every stereotype about pit bulls with every gentle nuzzle. His star power isn't just limited to personal appearances and cuddles. In 2015, Hulk sired a litter of 8 puppies. And if you think his size is impressive, wait till you hear about his puppy's worth. A staggering $500,000 for the lot. That's right, his unique genetics are in high demand, proving that when it comes to breeding, top-tier genes bring top dollar. Today, Hulk continues to thrive at Dark Dynasty K9s, living his best life as a beloved family member and a social media sensation. And that's a wrap, everyone. Which ancient pet or domesticated animal surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you love exploring these fascinating creatures, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel for more captivating content, and hit the bell icon so you'll always stay updated with our latest uploads.